The wind whispered across the rocky terrain of Kepler 452b, carrying fine dust that danced around Dr. Yoon Park's environmental suit. Her team moved carefully across the alien landscape, each step measured and calculated. The planet's twin moons hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the desolate ground. Jae Kim, her senior research assistant, adjusted his scanning equipment. The device hummed softly, sending pulse waves into the ground. Something about this location felt different. They had explored dozens of archaeological sites across various exoplanets, but this place felt special. "Check this reading," Jay called out, his voice crackling through the communication system. Yoon walked over, her boots leaving minimal imprints on the compact ground. The scanner showed an unusual metallic signature about 3 meters beneath the surface. It wasn't like any mineral formation they had encountered before. "We need to dig," she said simply. The team brought out specialized excavation equipment. Robotic arms with diamond-tipped drills began carefully removing layers of rock and sediment. Each layer told a story of geological history, but something unusual was emerging. Hours passed. The team worked in silence, interrupted only by occasional technical discussions and the mechanical sounds of their equipment. As the sun of this distant system began to set, casting orange and purple hues across the landscape, they hit something solid. The first glimpse was just a corner, a metallic surface that didn't look natural. It wasn't rough or random like typical geological formations. Its edges were precise, almost perfectly geometric. Jay's hand trembled slightly as he brushed away the remaining dust. The object was rectangular, approximately 1 meter long and half a meter wide. Its surface was unlike anything they had seen before, a complex mixture of materials that seemed to reflect and absorb light simultaneously. "Don't touch it yet," Yoon warned, her scientific instincts kicking in. They began a comprehensive scan. Radiation levels were normal. Structural integrity appeared intact, no signs of biological contamination. Yet something about the object felt wrong. It didn't belong here. It didn't belong to this time. As night fell, they set up temporary shelters around the discovery. Nobody slept. Everyone knew they were on the brink of something significant. By morning, preliminary analysis revealed shocking details. The object's composition defied current technological understanding. Traces of alloys unknown to human science. Embedded data matrices that seemed to resist standard decryption methods. "This isn't just an artifact," Jay whispered. "This is a message." Yoon studied the object carefully. Her years of research had prepared her for unexpected discoveries, but this was different. This felt like a key to something much larger. The team worked meticulously, documenting every microscopic detail. Each scan, each measurement brought more questions than answers. Where did this object come from? How long had it been buried? What secrets did it hold? As the second day of investigation began, the object seemed to pulse ever so slightly. A barely perceptible vibration that could have been a trick of the light, or something more. Something was waiting to be discovered. Something that would change everything humanity understood about its place in the universe. The wind continued to blow across Kepler 452b, carrying with it the promise of a revelation that would soon shake the foundations of known history. The research station hummed with nervous energy. Bright lights illuminated a sterile laboratory where the mysterious artifact rested on a specially designed examination platform. Dr. Yoon Park adjusted her protective glasses, her eyes fixed on the strange object that had traveled across unknown distances. Jae Kim prepared the decryption equipment. Standard protocols wouldn't work. This was something entirely different. The object seemed to resist traditional scanning methods, almost as if it had a will of its own. "Computer can't crack the first layer," Jay muttered, frustration creeping into his voice. Yoon approached the artifact. Up close, its surface seemed to shimmer with impossible complexity. Microscopic patterns shifted and changed, defying logical explanation. What looked like a solid surface from a distance was actually an intricate network of microscopic circuits and unknown material. The team brought in specialized quantum decryption systems. These were the most advanced machines humanity had developed, capable of breaking down the most complex encryption known to science. Yet this artifact remained stubbornly silent. Hours turned into days. The research team worked in shifts, each taking turns to analyze the mysterious object. Coffee machines ran constantly, screens filled with incomprehensible data patterns that meant nothing and everything. On the fourth day, something changed. A small pulse emerged from the artifact, so subtle that most would have missed it. But Jay's sensitive equipment caught the signal. It was a data burst, brief, intense, and completely unexpected. "We're getting something," he shouted. The first images were fragmented, glimpses of structures that looked both familiar and alien, cities that seemed to float, technologies that defied current understanding, spacecraft designs that looked centuries, no, millennia, ahead of current human capabilities. Yoon watched as holographic projections began to form. Star charts appeared showing migration patterns that made no sense, locations of human settlements that shouldn't have existed, historical records that contradicted everything humanity knew about its own history. The artifact was telling a story of human civilization that existed long before current recorded history, a civilization that had traveled between stars, that had technologies beyond current imagination. "This changes everything," Jay whispered. More data emerged, complex technological schematics, diplomatic communication records, evidence of human interventions in galactic conflicts that nobody knew about. Each new piece of information challenged everything they understood about humanity's place in the universe. The research team worked around the clock. They barely slept, barely ate. The discovery was consuming them. Each new revelation was more shocking than the last. Diplomatic communication records suggested humans had once played a crucial role in maintaining galactic peace, not as a minor species but as a significant power. Strategic, intelligent, far more advanced than current civilizations believed. By the end of the week, they had only decoded a fraction of the artifact's information, but it was enough to shake the foundations of human understanding. You knew what this meant. This wasn't just a scientific discovery. This was a potential revolution. Everything humanity thought it knew about its history was about to change. The artifact continued to pulse softly, waiting, watching, holding secrets that would soon reshape the entire understanding of human civilization. Outside the research station, the distant stars seemed to watch silently, waiting for the moment when humanity would finally understand its true place in the universe. The Galactic Council chamber fell silent when the first reports arrived. Representatives from 12 different alien civilizations sat frozen, their various appendages and communication devices momentarily paralyzed by the news. Dr. Yoon Park's research had leaked. The initial data about humanity's hidden historical significance spread faster than anyone could control. Information traveled through digital networks, encrypted channels, and secret communication systems that connected different galactic civilizations. The Talaxian representative, a tall crystalline being with multiple translucent arms, was the first to speak. "This cannot be allowed to continue," he said, his voice resonating with a metallic undertone. Behind closed diplomatic channels, panic was brewing. The artifact's revelations suggested that humans were not the young, emerging species everyone believed them to be. Instead, they might be an ancient civilization with strategic capabilities far beyond current understanding. Jae Kim received the first warning 3 days after the initial leak. An encrypted message appeared on his secure communication device. The sender was anonymous, but the threat was clear: stop the research or face consequences. He showed the message to Eun, who studied it carefully. "They're afraid," she said simply. The research team increased their security protocols. They distributed backup data files across multiple secure locations. If someone wanted to suppress their discovery, they would need to do more than just threaten them. Alien diplomats began making subtle moves. Trade agreements with human colonies suddenly became complicated. Research funding was mysteriously redirected. Communication channels became increasingly difficult. but Yoon and her team were prepared. Each attempt to silence them only confirmed the significance of their discovery. The more resistance they encountered, the more certain they became that they had uncovered something extraordinary. Intelligence agencies from various alien civilizations started monitoring the research team. Their communications were intercepted, their movements tracked, but they found nothing that could stop the inevitable spread of information. A video conference was arranged with the Galactic Council. Yoon knew this was her moment to present their findings. The representatives gathered, their holographic images flickering in the secure communication room. "We have discovered evidence of humanity's significant historical role," she began, her voice calm and steady. The response was immediate and intense. Some representatives demanded immediate suppression of the research. Others wanted more information. A few seemed genuinely curious about the implications. The Zendarian ambassador, known for his diplomatic skills, tried to negotiate. "Perhaps we can discuss a controlled release of information," he suggested. Jay interrupted. "The information is already out. There's no going back." Political alliances began to shift. Species that had previously viewed humans as a minor civilization now looked at them with a mixture of respect and fear. The galactic power balance was about to change. Back at the research station, the team continued their work. They knew they had started something that couldn't be stopped. Humanity's true history was emerging, and no diplomatic maneuver could put it back in the shadows. The artifact continued to pulse softly in the laboratory, as if watching the unfolding drama with silent amusement. Outside, the stars continued, their eternal dance indifferent to the political tremors being created by a simple archaeological discovery. Yoon looked at Jay and smiled. Their work had just begun, and the universe was about to learn the truth about humanity's hidden past. The laboratory was silent except for the soft hum of advanced equipment. Dr. Yoon Park's hands moved carefully across holographic displays, revealing layer after layer of technological information that defied current scientific understanding. The artifact had begun to show its true nature. What seemed like a simple metallic object was actually a complex data repository, containing technological blueprints from a forgotten human civilization. Each schematic was more advanced than the last. Jae Kim watched in disbelief as navigation systems emerged. These were not just star maps. They were intricate computational models that showed faster-than-light travel methods completely unknown to current human technology. The mathematical precision was breathtaking. "This changes everything," he whispered. Energy manipulation technologies appeared next. Compact power generators that could fuel entire planetary systems with minimal resources. Quantum communication, networks that could transmit information across impossible distances. Defensive systems that could protect entire civilizations from external threats. The research team worked around the clock. Sleep became a luxury. Food was consumed quickly. Between moments of intense discovery, each new revelation was more shocking than the last. Military historians found strategic intervention algorithms that suggested humans had once played a crucial role in maintaining galactic peace, not as a minor species, but as a sophisticated civilization with advanced diplomatic and technological capabilities. Engineering schematics revealed technologies that looked like science fiction, nano-repair systems that could heal entire spacecraft in moments, adaptive environmental suits that could survive in the most extreme conditions, computational systems that seemed to predict potential future scenarios with remarkable accuracy. The key, most shocking discovery came when they decoded a set of blueprints for advanced spacecraft. These were not just designs. They were complete technological ecosystems. Ships that could think, ships that could adapt, ships that were more like living organisms than machines. Alien intelligence agencies began increasing their surveillance. They knew something significant was happening. The balance of galactic power was about to shift dramatically. Yoon understood the implications. This wasn't just a technological discovery. This was proof that humanity had a much deeper, more complex history than anyone had imagined. They were not a young species waiting to be discovered. They were a civilization with a hidden past. The artifact continued to release information, Star navigation systems showed human settlements in regions of space that were supposedly uninhabited. Diplomatic communication records suggested strategic interventions in galactic conflicts that no current civilization remembered. Jay found a set of data matrices that suggested humans had once been peacekeepers. Not through military might, but through advanced diplomatic technologies. They could predict and prevent conflicts before they even began. News began to leak, first through scientific channels, then through diplomatic networks. The galactic community started to realize that everything they knew about humanity was wrong. Some alien civilizations reacted with fear, others with respect. A few seemed genuinely curious about these new revelations. The research team knew they were at the center of a historical moment. They were rewriting the understanding of human civilization. No longer would humans be seen as a minor, emerging species. They were about to be recognized as a sophisticated civilization with a complex past. Outside the research station, the stars seemed to watch silently, waiting, observing, holding the secrets of a civilization that was about to reclaim its lost. History Yun looked at Jay. No words were needed. They both understood the magnitude of their discovery. Humanity was about to change forever. The artifact pulsed softly, as if satisfied that its long-hidden secrets were finally being revealed. To the universe, the Galactic Council chamber felt different. Tension filled the air like thick smoke. Dr. Yun Park stood at the center, her presentation ready. Years of research had led to this moment. Holographic displays flickered to life. Alien representatives from 12 different civilizations watched carefully. Some looked nervous, others seemed curious. A few appeared ready to challenge everything. "We have discovered humanity's true historical role," Yun began, her voice steady and clear. The first slides showed archaeological evidence, star charts that revealed human settlements in regions nobody believed were inhabited, technological schematics that demonstrated advanced capabilities far beyond current understanding. The Talaxian representative interrupted. "These claims are impossible," he said, his crystalline body vibrating with tension. Jay Kim stepped forward, activating additional evidence. Diplomatic communication records showed how humans had once maintained galactic peace. Not through military power, but through sophisticated conflict prevention technologies. Alien ambassadors began to shift in their seats. The evidence was overwhelming. Humanity was not a young species waiting to be discovered. They were an ancient civilization with a complex hidden history. Political alliances started to crack. Species that had previously looked down on humans now realized they were dealing with a civilization of significant strategic importance. The Zendarian ambassador, known for diplomatic skills, spoke first. "We need to reassess our current agreements," he said carefully. Negotiations began immediately. Trade routes that had been closed to humans suddenly reopened. Research collaborations that were previously impossible became priority projects. Back on Earth, celebrations erupted. People understood that their civilization was far more significant than anyone had believed. News networks broadcast the discoveries continuously. The artifact continued to release information. More technological secrets emerged. Advanced energy systems, faster-than-light travel methods, diplomatic intervention algorithms that could predict and prevent conflicts. Yun watched as the galactic political landscape transformed. Humanity was no longer a minor player. They were becoming a central figure in interstellar relations. Some alien civilizations reacted with fear. Others saw opportunities for collaboration. A few began reviewing historical records, searching for additional evidence of human involvement. Diplomatic missions were quickly organized. Human representatives, armed with new historical knowledge, began renegotiating strategic agreements. Each meeting revealed more about humanity's hidden capabilities. Kyokyu. Research team became instant celebrities. Scientists, diplomats, and historians wanted to understand how they had uncovered such significant information. Jay found himself explaining complex technological discoveries to eager audiences. The nano repair systems, the adaptive environmental technologies, the quantum communication networks that had been hidden for centuries. Within months, the entire galactic understanding of humanity changed. No longer would humans be seen as a young emerging species. They were now recognized as a sophisticated civilization with a complex past. The stars seemed to watch silently, waiting, observing how humanity would use its newly revealed potential. Looked at Jay. They both understood the magnitude of their discovery. They had not just uncovered history, they had changed the future. The artifact continued to pulse softly in the research station. Its secrets were finally free. Humanity was finally ready to reclaim its place in the universe. Political borders shifted. Economic agreements were rewritten. Scientific collaborations became priority projects. The galaxy would never be the same. As the first human diplomatic missions prepared to depart, one thing became clear. Humanity's journey was just beginning. The hidden history they had uncovered was not an endpoint, but a starting point. The universe watched and waited.